We've all been there. Perhaps it was a birthday party, maybe a doctor's office, maybe even an in-law's house, where you're there, but you really don't want to be there, and you don't really feel like you fit in. Well, imagine living like that every day of your life. That is what a transgender person feels like. They are stuck in a place that they really don't feel comfortable and they really don't want to be there. So they're discriminated against and there's not an easy out for them. A transgender person is a person whose identity is different from the gender that they were thought to be at birth. Um, Everyone has a gender identity, whether they're transgender or not. Your gender identity is something that you really never even thought about because your gender identity matches what your sex was at birth. You were born as a girl, you feel like you're a girl, you act as a girl, or a male for that matter, on the opposite scale. So many people never go public with this. It's been proven that at any age, people can come to find out that they're transgender. Some people have memories as early back as they can remember, where maybe it was one particular memory where they knew at that point they were transgender. And some people actually say that they just knew all along that they were transgender. They just feel like they just didn't fit in. They didn't fit in their surroundings. They didn't fit in their own skin. So many people never come out for being transgender because of what is connected to it. The social stigma, the discrimination, the harassment that it entails. So they just hold it in and then they're miserable. Williams Institute of UCLA in 2012 revealed that people who admitted openly about being transgender faced more significant discrimination than those which they were quoted as being gender non-conforming behavior. This means people who actually came out to the public and said, hey, not comfortable in my own skin. I don't feel like I'm a girl, or I don't feel like I'm a guy. They were more frequently and seriously discriminated against than people who just went on about their daily life feeling this way. Just people who went about it as it was a secret, hiding it from their public. According to the 2016 survey by Greenberg Quinlan Rosner Research, 35% of likely voters either know or work with somebody who is transgender. That is more than double the 17% which answered yes to that same question in 2014. So I don't know that necessarily that being transgender is on the rise, or maybe it's just that people are talking about it more openly. People are trying to get it out there. It's more recognized with your Caitlyn Jenner, with your more social people coming out. Maybe they're trying to get it out there to where it's more socially acceptable. Other researchers say that at least 700,000 U.S. citizens, which is 0.3% of our total population at this point in time, is transgender. One of the biggest concerns of transgender people is being misunderstood. UCLA's Women's Law Journal states that being transgender is not the equivalent of being a homosexual. Sexual orientation describes the sex that a person is attracted to, while transgender describes the disjunction between an individual's sex organs and their sexual identity. All in all, transgender individuals face such challenges in our society. They, just like me and you, they're stuck in a spot, just like when you and I were in that doctor's office or at those in-laws' house. They're stuck in a spot that they don't feel like they belong. They're not comfortable. But for you and I, we can get up and leave. For transgender people, there is no easy way out. They're stuck there. So it's either come out and face public humiliation, public discrimination, feeling bad about themselves for what they're going through, which they have no control over. Or they can stay locked in that closet, so to speak, because they're afraid of coming out and letting the world know that there's something going on with them. So, just like with any other discrimination in our world today, why are they discriminated against? Lack of understanding, lack of trying to put yourself in that position. Yes, it's hard for us to understand what those people are going through. Because how would you? You were born either a female or a male, and you're comfortable in those shoes. But how would you feel not to be comfortable in those shoes? Which road would you take? Would you go the road less traveled and let it out and tell people and face that public discrimination? Or would you be one of the non-conforming gender identity people who held it in and lived your life miserably? Think about that next time you discriminate against transgender or anyone for that matter. Thank you.